What if building something meant risking everything? From oceans to mountains to outer space, these are structures built where survival itself was a challenge. Number 1. MONSELL Forts. Far from the safety of land, deep in the restless waters of the North Sea, the MONSELL forts stand like silent machines rising from the ocean. Built during World War II, these structures were designed to detect and defend against enemy aircraft and ships before they reached the coast. Engineers had to anchor massive steel legs directly into the seabed while battling strong currents and unpredictable weather. Every wave tested their stability. Every storm threatened their survival. Even today, abandoned and rusting, the forts remain standing, a reminder that humans once challenged the sea itself and won, at least for a while. Number 2. LAGANGARBH Hut. Hidden among the harsh peaks of the Scottish Highlands, LAGANGARBH Hut exists in a place where nature shows little mercy. This small stone shelter sits beneath towering mountains known for sudden storms, heavy snowfall, and dangerous rockfalls. It wasn't built to attract visitors or provide comfort, but to save lives. Climbers caught in extreme conditions may find this hut as their only refuge. Reaching it can be risky, yet its presence has meant survival for many. In a landscape where a single mistake can be fatal, this simple structure proves that even the smallest building can carry great purpose. Number 3. MONT-SAINT-MICHEL. Rising from the sea like something from a dream, MONT-SAINT-MICHEL stands on a rocky island surrounded by powerful tides. At times, it appears connected to the land. Hours later, it becomes completely isolated by water. Builders, centuries ago, chose this unstable location and transformed it into a fortified settlement crowned by a towering monastery. Without modern tools, they carried stone after stone while racing against the rising sea. The shifting tides, dangerous mudflats, and constant erosion made construction incredibly risky. Yet, Mont-Saint-Michel still stands balanced between land and ocean, shaped by patience and extraordinary planning. Number 4. Nail houses. In rapidly expanding cities, progress often erases everything in its path except sometimes one house that refuses to disappear. These are known as nail houses, homes that remain standing while roads, railways, and massive developments grow around them. Construction continues, concrete rises, and traffic flows, yet the house stays rooted in place. These locations feel impossible not because of nature, but because of pressure. Each nail house represents a quiet resistance, showing how determination can hold ground even when surrounded by overwhelming change. Number 5. TATEV Monastery. Perched on the edge of a deep canyon, TATEV Monastery rests where the land suddenly drops away into emptiness. The builders selected this location for protection and isolation, knowing that steep cliffs would make it nearly unreachable. Transporting materials across narrow paths and unstable ground required extreme care and patience. One misstep could mean disaster. The result is a monastery that feels suspended between earth and sky, blending perfectly with the landscape. Its position turns nature itself into a shield, proving that sometimes the most dangerous locations offer the greatest security. Number 6. RINCONADA. High above the clouds, where oxygen is thin and temperatures remain harsh, lies RINCONADA, one of the highest permanent settlements on Earth. Life here is physically demanding, as even simple movement strains the human body. Buildings are constructed in freezing conditions, with limited resources and difficult transportation routes. Yet people continue to live and build here, driven by the promise of opportunity from nearby gold mines. This city exists in a place where survival itself is a challenge, showing how human ambition can push beyond the limits of environment and endurance. Number 7. ELLIÐEEY. Far out in the Atlantic Ocean, surrounded by endless water and sharp winds, lies ELLIÐEEY, a small island with a single, lonely house. There are no roads, no neighbors, and no permanent residents. The island itself is difficult to approach, with steep cliffs rising straight from the sea. The house was built as a hunting lodge, used seasonally rather than for everyday living. Every supply must arrive by boat, and weather often decides when people can come or leave. The silence, isolation, and raw nature make ELLIÐEEY feel almost unreal, proving that sometimes humans build not to escape danger, but to escape noise. Number 8. BUZZARD Platform. Standing alone in the North Sea, the BUZZARD platform rises from deep, cold waters where waves never rest. This massive offshore structure was built to extract oil from beneath the seabed, far from any coastline. Engineers had to design it to survive constant storms, freezing temperatures, and powerful ocean forces. Workers live on the platform for weeks at a time, surrounded by nothing but water and sky. There is no solid ground beneath their feet, only steel and trust in engineering. The BUZZARD platform shows how modern necessity can push construction into environments where land simply does not exist. Number 9. SKELLIG MICHEL. Off the coast of Ireland, SKELLIG MICHEL emerges sharply from the ocean, its rocky peaks rising almost vertically from the sea. Long ago, people chose this extreme island as a place of retreat and reflection. Stone structures were built by hand on narrow ledges, accessible only by steep stone steps carved into the rock. Reaching the island itself is dangerous, as rough waters often block access. Life here demanded discipline and resilience, as food, shelter, and safety were never guaranteed. SKELLIG MICHEL stands today as a powerful reminder that some of the most meaningful places were built far from comfort. Number 10. The CITÉ médiévale. High above surrounding land, the Cité médiévale was constructed as a fortified town designed to dominate its environment. Built on elevated ground with thick walls and narrow pathways, it was meant to be difficult to attack and easy to defend. Transporting materials uphill without modern tools required enormous effort, and every stone had to be placed with precision. The location provided protection but demanded constant physical labor from its builders and inhabitants. The town's survival depended on careful planning and unity, turning its difficult location into its greatest strength. Number 11. Illegal mountain villa on a rooftop. In Beijing's crowded cityscape, an ordinary apartment building once hid a shocking secret: a man-made mountain and private villa built on its rooftop. A university professor constructed it in secret over several years, covering the roof with rocks and plants. The massive weight caused leaks and structural damage, putting residents at risk. Built without permission, the villa became a symbol of extreme ambition in a place never meant to support such a structure, before authorities finally ordered it removed. Number 12. COOBER PEDY. In the harsh desert of Australia, where surface temperatures can become unbearable, the town of COOBER PEDY took an unusual approach to survival. It went underground. Homes, shops, and even places of gathering were carved into the earth to escape the intense heat. Digging downward provided natural temperature control and protection from the environment above. Living underground comes with its own challenges, but for the people of COOBER PEDY, it was the only way to thrive in a location where traditional construction would fail. This town proves that sometimes the only way forward is not up, but down. Number 13. The International Space Station. Far beyond mountains, oceans, and borders, the International Space Station orbits the Earth in an environment where human life cannot exist naturally. There is no air, no gravity as we know it, and constant exposure to extreme temperatures. Every part of the station was built on Earth and carefully assembled in space through precise coordination. Astronauts live inside it for months, relying entirely on technology to survive. This structure represents the ultimate impossible location, not on land, not at sea, but beyond the planet itself. It stands as a symbol of what humanity can achieve through cooperation and careful planning. So, that's for today. See you next time. Goodbye.